That Solstice music is really good, isn't it?
It's perfect.
Just
serious question.
Yep.
What does your pop filter smell like?
Mine just kind of smells like someone burnt it a little bit.
It smells like new shoes, but like cheap new shoes. Like
That might be what I'm smelling.
Like new Walmart shoes.
Maybe
yeah,
that's
new
what I'm
Walmart
smelling.
shoes probably pretty.
Because I was
accurate.
thinking like pool water. Pool water.
Shoes.
Pool water.
Walmart shoes dunked in pool water.
Ah, there we go.
Hi everyone, I'm Tim. With me, Troy.
Hey.
And Joseph.
Hello.
And my cat's laying on the floor between us.
Yeah. Probably
Being all
gonna,
cute.
Hey,
probably
Pepper.
gonna meow up a storm here.
No,
I'm
kitty. No, she's fine.
Nudge
She
with
is
my foot.
fine.
So we've been busy little bees as usual.
I got my kitty now.
Extra busy little bees this month now because we've got.
My eyes are exhausted from staring at this computer screen for so long.
But that's
cool. There's probably a cooler way I could have said that. But
That's
my
all we
eyes are
do
exhausted.
anyway.
You need some
though.
gunners.
That doesn't
man.
really specify that like working on anything because
You
we
need those-
all we do is computers.
Those special yellow sunglasses.
I always
the
see
gunners.
those when I go into Best Buy.
Apparently they work.
I have seen various pro gamers say that they
Apparently
help,
they're really good on eye
they
strain.
help avoid headaches or something. I don't
Yeah,
know.
just the eye strain and everything.
That's what everyone said about what was that computer program called that turns your computer red?
the one we already talked about.
yeah.
Flux.
No,
So are those just
it's,
like
it's a
flux and-
callback.
Yeah.
Okay.
Are those just like flux in glasses form then? Just like
I don't know.
put flux on your face.
Have you
Maybe
ever
just make
seen?
everything yellow.
It's like those HD sunglasses you used to see on the infomercials.
I got some of those from my grandpa, and
Don't say anything else.
I put them on, and they're twice as large as any normal pair of
Wait, so-
glasses. They're
so
just
he-
they envelop half of your face.
he gave them to you, or you just tried his on?
Well, I just kind of found them in their basement,
Oh,
and he
okay.
was like, "I didn't even know I had those. You can have them." And I went, "Okay." And then I put them on, and then I said, "I don't really want these."
Aren't they just polarized?
Yeah, and kind of yellow,
Yeah, so I
Funny.
think it's gunners.
Yeah.
But gunners are like regular glasses size.
and like $75, right? Something like that.
I think that's on the low end actually.
The one
if you have to get prescription for them,
the one I saw
Prescriptions.
yeah.
the one I saw
Well, I mean,
at Best Buy was
if
like
you have
$70.
glasses, because we're nerds and we all wear glasses, then you have to get special gunners because you can't wear two pairs of glasses over them.
You'll look like a total dweeb
Yeah,
while you play pro Dota.
yeah.
You don't want to look like a total nerd when you're playing video games.
Yeah.
Okay?
Did you hear about that girl who got robbed while she was on live?
Yeah, I saw it.
Yeah. It was-
It's pretty
were you
messed
watching
up.
live or did you just see
No,
the
I
recap?
wasn't. I saw the video.
I was like, I
of
didn't
it
even know you
recorded.
watched.
No, I don't understand anything about.
I didn't
League
know
of
you were a
Legends.
MOBA guy.
I'm not a MOBA guy.
Yeah, because you won't play with me.
I'm pretty sure everyone just kept playing, didn't they?
Yeah, they didn't realize at first what was happening because they were just on like
Yeah.
TeamSpeak or whatever, and then their viewers saw what was going on, so they got in touch with the people in the game, and they called them. They caught one guy. The
It's like,
other
huh,
guys
that's
had
an
to
interesting
run.
piece of performance art.
Apparently, they were straight up going to keep the people in the house hostage until a bank opened, so they could go to the ATM and steal the rest of their money too.
Ugh.
That's really stupid because all banks have cameras on them,
Yeah.
or all ATMs have cameras on them. So,
Well,
Well, I don't think they were the smartest people.
well, I
anyway.
guess if you wanted, you would like. If you the person you're robbing, I guess you would just say walk up to the ATM and not go with them, but then they could just run away.
Yeah. Like, what are you going to do?
Yeah, like you can't hit me from there. Don't rob people is what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
Yeah.
please don't rob people.
Please don't rob people.
and then next week we get robbed while we're doing a podcast, and they're like, "Wow, this is an interesting turn."
This is
that
the
these guys have
exact.
taken.
This is the exact opposite of when they saw that they got their Kickstarter live. Now they lost all the money from
Yep.
their Kickstarter live. It's just all
Also, everything
stolen.
else,
It's full circle.
Yeah.
all of those DVDs and things sitting over there. Speaking of DVDs,
You just said that to have
Yeah.
a good segue.
it just kind of worked out that way.
Every
But
time we have a good segue, we point it out and it becomes a terrible
You always
segue.
point it out.
You just did.
I know I just did, but I don't usually.
Like, you literally just
I know
did
I
that.
just did, but you usually do, and that's the difference. But yeah, so now that the DVDs and everything have been funded, now they are being worked on.
Made. Imagine that.
Yeah.
Authored.
Weird.
But again, holding to our slogan, we give you the thing that you gave us money for.
Yeah.
We actually just did the new commentary not too long ago.
And we have to redo it after this.
We have to touch it up because
Just a little bit.
or not redo it completely. We just realized
Windows Media Player just decided not to play one of the entries while we were recording.
and
so.
we're too stupid to realize that happened while
Yeah.
we were doing
24 to 26, yeah.
Granted, there was one. The entry
Pound sign.
number was in between
entry
those.
entry
we,
hashtag.
Yeah, so we entry hashtag number like that. That's the hashtag. Is
Okay.
hashtag pound sign number sign.
Yeah. Hashtag pound sign number sign and hashtag pound sign number.
Entry number hashtag symphony.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sharp.
Yeah, sharp.
So yeah, working on we went out this past weekend and recorded some footage for the menus. We're
That
trying
wasn't this weekend. That was like 2 days ago.
Yeah.
whatever. And
Wednesday, or Tuesday. Yeah.
well, they're going to be listening to this on Tuesday, so they could have
Whatever. The other day we did that.
Yeah, and we kind of had to rack our brains and think of all of the season 1 locations that weren't apartments and living spaces that we no longer lived in. So
Well,
those
back
were kind
up,
of out.
Back up a little bit because we should probably mention the fact that we don't have the source files for the old version DVD, so we have
Yes.
to redo the menus on the remastered DVD. So
Which isn't the worst thing in the world.
Yeah,
no, I mean we still have everything else. It's just
Yeah.
weird that
we can.
I mean,
we can adjust the formatting and everything.
what was the DVD menu?
It was the
tapes.
the tape box
With like the numbers superimposed over it.
Yeah. The numbers superimposed over it, and that was just too cluttered. So we're gonna
There's
we're gonna
just
make
too
them
many
separate.
words on one thing, so now it can actually be thumbnails for every entry and whatever.
So
like
you know what's what, like
Yeah.
because I can never keep up with what exactly happens in each
like
entry.
literally every other DVD does.
I mean, I know what happens in each entry, but I don't remember the numbers. Is what
Yeah.
I'm saying. Like if someone says, "Oh, entry 72," I don't remember which one that is.
Also, the names of the To the Arc videos this time around, so because they weren't.
They were named on there, weren't they?
No, they were just like
Oh.
To the Arc 1, To the Arc 2.
Oh.
with like a little.
In the second season, they were though.
Yeah, in the first one, it was just said like, and they even had a little splash screen before the video actually started playing. It would be like To the Arc 1, and then go into it and everything like that. So it's like,
yeah.
it wouldn't
Interesting.
say attention or signal.
It's so weird that we're having to ask each other about what's
Yeah.
on our DVD, the old DVD.
It shows how
because-
much input we had in it.
Yeah.
I'm being the tech guy for this, so I'm having to be like, so do we want to make this like the old one or change it? I don't
which
know
is
what
not
was the old
something
one.
that we're used to.
Yeah,
Really.
I get to be the grumpy IT guy that's just like
Maybe
you know,
we should. Oh, you know what we should do? We should take a picture of us doing the commentary later and put it on the Kickstarter.
Already did that.
Oh.
It was a fake one. It was the one I took of Tim setting up the mixer for the first time when I said he was channeling his NPR.
Don't ruin the illusion.
Well,
No, I said it on the update. I said this isn't actually us, but just imagine Joseph and I
Okay,
on either
fair
side.
enough,
That's what
fair
it was
enough,
like.
yeah.
so you're not a complete liar.
No, I wasn't lying at all. I was being entirely truthful. Thank you very much.
Going back through all the season 1 stuff, it is just kind of like, if only we could have known that we would need extra stuff for DVDs, because there's still plenty, but there's not nearly as much as there are for season 2 and 3, because imagine that we didn't think we'd need to save it for anything.
Well, back then, most of it was just if it wasn't on the camera, then it just wasn't there.
We didn't. If we started acting stupid or started talking at length about something while we were shooting, we didn't just start recording for the hell of it like we sometimes do now.
Yeah.
And also, there's a lot of stuff that just got deleted to save space too, because that was on your old laptop too, wasn't it?
I never outright deleted anything.
Oh,
So
okay.
if you brought up my old laptop, which I still have right now, there's probably still be stuff on there.
Okay, we can
We should
search
dig through
there.
that then, because I know there are a couple of entries in the raw footage folders that you gave me where it's like they just have the takes that are in the actual entry and there's nothing else in there. So maybe they survived, maybe they didn't. Who knows? It'll have to be a super archive dig
Yeah.
that is
all
on
the-
one really old gateway.
It's not a gateway.
It's not a gateway.
Wait. Yes, it is. It is
Yeah.
a gateway. Yeah. I was thinking the one I had before that, which was an HP, and I was like, oh god, HP sucks. So I got a gateway and thought, oh god, gateways suck. And so I got.
If you tried to start the HP up, it probably wouldn't work.
and then,
'cause
and then I got an Asus, and I was like, this isn't that bad, but it's really expensive, so I built my own.
it's also really huge. That is an ungodly large laptop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
One benefit of building a computer is like if something sucks on it, you know it was your fault.
Yeah.
Which is a double-edged sword, because on one hand it's like, well, I can fix this because I know what I screwed up.
Sort of. I mean, it's not everything you can fix like that.
Or in your case, oh no, I have to replace half the stuff in here because it got fried by lightning.
Yeah. Well,
That's always fun.
It wasn't half the stuff. It was just your wireless card, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was my network card. But I was planning on, I mean, I could buy a new network card. I have a slot for it, and it would be like $15. But
That was just a sign that you need to get a new one.
I think I'm just going to get a new motherboard, period, because right now on my case I have, let's see, either 10 or 12 USB ports, but my motherboard only supports 6 of them.
Oh no.
I have to have full functionality.
I think I only have 6.
Let's see. I have 4 USB on the top, 2 USB 3.0 on the top. So that's up to 6, right?
Yeah.
And
That's a lot of ports.
And then 4, maybe I only have, I have 10 ports. And I only support 6 right now.
Okay.
Because I have 2 3.0s and 2 USBs on the back as well.
You know, I'm gonna ask this because I never remember. You made yours after me.
No, I made mine before you.
God, I could never remember that. I still haven't built my own PC yet, but
We have very similar PCs.
The computer that I have is just the clock is ticking because it's like a 4-year-old machine.
Well, you've only been replacing stuff one piece at a time too.
It's more or less a new computer on the inside because like I've slowly Frankensteined everything. It's like
you have a really small case though. You don't really have much room.
Case.
I do because I put a new hard drive in it about a month ago because I knew I'd need it for all this DVD stuff, and I was like, man, there's no room in here.
What's
anymore.
your power source like?
I don't remember. It's pretty hefty though.
Oh, okay. Because those things take up a lot of room.
Yeah,
so.
I bought one that was way more high power than I actually needed in case I added more stuff. Like
neither Troy or I have full size cases either. Ours are like the mid range,
medium size, and it's still huge.
Probably like at least twice as big as mine.
Yeah, mine is a medium size too.
Mine's just a dinky little prefab HP cabinet.
It's kind of like
the prefab ones. They give you the case that fits everything they put in there.
Yeah,
they don't want you messing with it.
Mine has a new power supply. It has a new graphics card. It has a new.
I'm surprised you were able to fit a new PSU in there without.
Barely. It's sort of hanging out of the back a little bit. Like it's not really fastened down all the way. Like I think
you're asking for it then.
I think the wireless card and the graphics card have about 3 or 4 millimeters of space in between the two of them. So
now I have a little kitten running around that room filling it up with his hair and everything. Mm-hmm. So
I probably opened it up and dusted about once every 2 or 3 months because I have been surprised at the
PC
performance
person
difference.
that just heard that and just shuddered.
Yeah. Well, I have those little air filters on mine that you can pull out and just wipe off and put it back in.
I don't have one of those.
Yeah,
that's pretty fancy.
I mean, it only has one of those on the. It has one of those on the back and on the bottom, which are the intakes.
Luckily, the entire side of mine is
front. You can just wipe off with your hand.
Yeah, the outside of mine is really easy to take off, so I can get in there with the good old air duster thing.
Yeah.
Blast it.
Man, building computers
I don't do that nearly as much as I should. Though.
It'd be really cool if you could just build people computers for a living. I know some people do that.
You could.
I know some people do that, but there's not really a good market in Alabama for that.
Hey, if you guys want me to build you a computer, if you pay for the parts, I'll do it for you. I don't care.
It's
not hard. It's just expensive Legos.
Don't tell them that it's not hard.
It's okay because I'll add this. It's not hard, but if you zap something, it's your fault and nobody's replacing it.
Yeah. It's really easy.
So it's like you can spend all of the money to build your own PC plus like, $100, $200 in shipping to ship it to you and back. Just like that thing that I posted on Facebook about modifying the electronics in my guitar just to like circuit bend it a little bit, and somebody was like, I like 3 or 4 people messaged me like, oh man, if I mail you my guitar, will you do that for mine? And I was like, okay, this kit costs like maybe $30 to put in yourself, but shipping your guitar to me and back would easily be like $300.
Yep.
Just do it yourself.
One argument.
The guitar wouldn't be $300. The only reason I know that is because I was shopping for a new bed frame on IKEA's website the other day, or not the other day, but a couple of weeks ago, and IKEA's bed frame, I found a good one that was like $200 or something. I thought, oh, that's great, but the closest IKEA is like in Atlanta, which is about 3 or 4 hours from here. And so I was like, oh, I mean, I'll just get it shipped to me.
I'm going there on Monday. Well, I'll pick it up for you.
Okay, thanks.
Just drive it to the top of my car.
I'll just have it shipped to me. $300 to ship.
Yeah. It
Here.
depends on how they would ship the guitar.
That's arcade cabinet tier right there.
Yeah, if not, well, no, it wouldn't be more. But, yeah.
One argument I saw for buying prefab computers, like the super high-end ones,
Is if your mom.
it just blew my mind. No, this was like a streamer or something.
okay.
Like, this is his job, and he was pretty
Okay.
successful at it in terms of viewership.
Yeah.
Little broy for me, but anyway, he was talking about the PCs.
a little too bro-ish for my palate.
He rates about an 8 on the bro scale, but I only associate it with
Yes.
6s or below.
Obviously, when I watch my Twitch TV, I prefer
My
some
twitching television.
I expect only the highest quality of gameplay, and I
just
don't
imagine
care about
Joseph sitting in front of a fireplace with a Chardonnay and a pipe.
yes,
And a monocle and a top hat. It's
excellent CS under tower there, old boy. Yes,
You cover those lanes.
yes. But anyway, he was saying,
capital support.
he had no interest in building his own PC, and I kind of see where he was coming from. He's like, I'll just spend $3,000 on a top of the end PC, and if something goes wrong, since I spent $3,000 on it, they're going to send me a new one if something breaks. Instead of
That's a bold assumption.
this is a guy
You
that
still
he
spent
actually
$3,000 on a computer.
He also has like sponsorships
Sponsors.
and
Oh,
stuff.
okay,
So
yeah,
like these are his sponsors. They want to keep up a good repertoire
Right.
with them. But he's like, you just buy something like that, you get the warranty, you just replace it if something messes up. Whereas if you build something, you might spend less up front, but if something goes wrong, then you have to pay for that replacement out of your pocket. But I'm like, you'd have to completely trash your $1,000 PC 3 times to pay for it the first prefabbed one, because I don't have a PC that is like top of the line, but everything in there is on the mid-range top end scale of stuff, like processor.
And mid-range stuff today is like ultra settings on every game out right now ever.
Yeah.
I mean, there might be some later that are like, next gen stuff or whatever, but mid-range is more than enough.
I have not had any issues playing anything on high at all with my PC, and the entire thing cost me around $950 for every single part. I didn't like every part of that I bought, and if you're like upgrading your computer, that price drops drastically.
Yeah.
Especially if I can like recycle everything that I've replaced in there.
Cases are probably the cheapest part, so you're set.
Yeah.
I mean, aside from disk drives or something, disk drives cost like $20.
Yeah.
There's
A
no way
a good case is probably about $60-$70.
There's no way I wouldn't get a new, motherboard and CPU and stuff like that, because they're both 4 years old. So
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Really?
it's like an AMD Phenom 2 that hasn't been made in like 3 years.
Wait, you're saying you need a new you need a new motherboard and you need a new processor?
No, I'm saying if I made a new computer, that's not something I would recycle. along with
right. So what you're saying is
everything
you would get a new processor and a new
Yeah,
motherboard.
which are the most expensive
Unfortunately,
parts.
the processor and the graphics card are the most
You also got to
expensive
make
part.
sure that you're compatible across the board on everything there too. Which it's easy to figure out,
Just
but
get the
it's
same
also a little
brand.
tedious.
Yeah, I think also you need to make sure your power source has the right wattage output for everything,
Yes.
which is really easy to figure out. Just some napkin math and you're good to go.
Napkin mouth.
Napkin mouth.
On the list, we have con stuff. What con stuff other than, hey, we're going to Anime BluesCon in Memphis?
That's a
next
pretty
weekend?
big one.
I was just
That's
gonna
next
say
weekend.
that. I was gonna say that.
Okay.
Yeah.
If
We
you
will
are in or around or have heard of Memphis, Tennessee, you should come to the Anime BluesCon in Memphis, Tennessee this coming up weekend, because we're going to be there all weekend.
I actually have
this weekend, as in not today's Friday weekend,
Right.
but when you're listening to this Tuesday weekend.
The weekend of
June 20th.
June 20th through 22nd, which you can be there with us to celebrate the Marble Hornets 5-year anniversary. Not that
Wow.
we're really doing anything to celebrate it, but you can still celebrate it with us anyway. We can all give each other mutual high fives and be like, hey, wasn't that cool that we did that?
I actually have a little preliminary schedule here of what we're doing
really?
too.
Cool, I haven't
this
seen
is
it.
not 100% set in stone. I emailed him today asking for if there's a finalized schedule.
Well, this is good because you're informing us too.
Right. So on Saturday, from 12 to 1, we have a 45-minute Q&A panel. There's going to be like the 15-minute switch over for the room and everything. And
basically going to be a podcast type thing live, right?
Yeah, if you have any questions you want to ask us, that's your time to do it. And we'll be forced to answer it. We can't pick and choose unless, we decide not to answer it.
Yeah.
Sorry, I just walked across the room and shoved my face in Joseph's microphone to
See,
say
that's what we need.
hot.
We need to stop doing these podcasts because people are going to run out of questions to ask us if if we just keep getting questions.
We also have
So this is the last episode.
Yeah.
All right, got it.
on Sunday from 1 to 2, we have a panel on how to make a web series. What we've learned and everything.
We're always really good at this one.
They keep giving it to us,
but
I don't think it ever gets any better.
I don't think we get repeats of it. If we ever go back to another convention, they'll be like, don't do that again.
we'll find out at Kineticon in July.
Because there was a thing that I can't believe we got invited back after Joseph drew a penis on the whiteboard.
I drew a diagram.
Oh, okay.
I didn't draw.
It just happened to be shaped
like
it happened to trigger certain thoughts for certain dirty-minded individuals in the audience, but it was just a diagram.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right.
Anyway,
we still got invited back for that, so
We didn't get invited back the year after that, though.
Well, whatever. We didn't.
Whatever.
Never mind. Just cut that part. Anyway.
What's after that?
Fuck, man. At Anime Blues Con, it starts on Friday. I think they said the dealer room is going to be opening up around 1 or 2, which is probably when we'll set up our stuff there or thereabouts.
We will have everything that is available on the THAC store right now. Unfortunately, we don't have time to make any of the new DVDs or anything because they're still working on them.
And they take a while to print anyway. Wait, hold the phone for just a fucking second.
Okay.
So we have our biggest anniversary ever, and we don't even have any panels on that day or anything. The heck, man.
Yeah, I guess not. I'll see what I can do. I'll talk to somebody.
Just lay around in our room naked all day.
I'll tell you what. I'll talk to somebody. I'll see if
on
we
our
can get
table
something
naked
special.
all day. Something special.
Yeah, I'll send an email over to old Georgie boy, my contact with Anime Blues Con.
Oh man,
I
thought you were just making up a person for a second.
No, this is a real person. I'll email him. I'll see if we can do like a little birthday party. Does that sound good? You guys want to do a birthday party?
Bring cupcakes. I'm talking to the listeners, not us. We don't want to bring listeners.
This is all news to us. This is an actual conversation. Do you guys want to have a birthday party?
Sure.
What kind of a birthday party would it be? Like, do we want what kind of decorations do we want? Do we want streamers, kazoos?
I don't know. Whatever we pick up on the way, we can.
Well, not balloons, because apparently there's a helium shortage.
Well, I have to drop off Rocket at my aunt's house on the way up there. I'll stop by a Party City. I'll get us some streamers.
Okay, scratch that. Scratch dropping off Rocket. Just bring Rocket and she'll get a party.
Okay.
Bring the dog.
I'll put that in the email too. Hey, can I bring my dog?
Yes.
Because she's got a mohawk right now. She looks pretty cool.
Oh yeah, your dog does have a mohawk.
That is the coolest dog.
And
because of that hair.
As soon as Marble Hornets is finished, you're gonna get a matching mohawk with your dog.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I think that's pretty genius. We should all get matching mohawks.
You should all match my dog.
We should all shave our animals into mohawks. Tim's kitten, my 2 cats, Tim's
Trudy.
dog. Yeah.
Basset had to look kind of weird.
You'd have to like shave her to the skin.
You need to go get a new pet rat and mohawk that one too.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Mohawk rat.
There's actually a dog in our neighborhood named Coco. It's a little tiny little like Pomeranian or something, and its owner dyes this mohawk in its head like bright pink.
That's awesome. Like just on its head.
Yeah, just on its head. It's so cute. He's such an awesome little dog.
I like it.
He climbed on top of Rocket, like stood on her back to come say hey, and Rocket's just like sniffing around. That's like whatever.
Oh, so it's just like a little Pomeranian poof ball.
Yeah.
Nice. Did it?
Or maybe it's a Shih Tzu. No, it's a Shih Tzu, but it's still small.
Didn't you say that you had, when you brought Rocket to get her haircut, they needed convincing to give her a mohawk?
Not so much convincing in that they recently expanded like their boarding stuff and cut down on their grooming, so they don't do special requests. But I was like, come on, it's a mohawk.
It's a specialty hairstyle.
Just cut less down the back.
Yeah, it's like you don't shave the entire thing. And they were like, okay, that sounds funny. We'll do that.
Was it like an old lady that was like, oh, you kids and your
They apparently have 2 groomers,
dogs.
and one of them is like a younger guy, and apparently he had done mohawks before, but he wasn't there that day. So she was like, this is my first time. I hope you like it. I'm like, I will.
Don't worry.
Don't worry. Even if it comes out crooked, I'll still think it's hilarious. It didn't. So it's good.
Her hair is growing a little bit, and it's kind of listing to one side right now, but that's still adorable. It's kind of adorable or funny in the way that like anytime you see a camel whose hump is listing to one side. It's funny.
Well, it's because they left all of the fur on her head.
Yeah.
Like, it's from the neck down, so it looks like her head was transplanted onto a smaller dog's body.
Yeah.
And it's just a smaller,
dog.
faster dog's body. So it's like she bounces more than she used to.
You don't realize how small Rocket is when she doesn't until she's gotten shaved. She's a fluff ball, man.
She's a little.
But yeah, on
naked
Friday
dog
we'll
now.
try to have a party. I'll see
Yeah.
what we can do. Stay tuned. Stay tuned.
Pull some strings.
See what I can do. I'll work my magic.
So we'll have
I'll bring the whoopee cushions.
we'll have season 1, season 2 DVDs there. We'll have our new-ish stickers. I'll bring the dog sticker too. Why not?
Yeah.
And people will be like, "Oh,
The
what
new-ish stickers being the ones that are on the store right now.
Yeah, people will be like, "What the hell is this? What?"
It's a thing from the internet. You might have heard of it.
You might have visited my Tumblr one time and not seen
How many
this.
Tumblr followers you up to, man?
I don't know. I don't keep track of that. I can check though.
Yeah.
Let's see.
I'm at like 2,000. I never post on that thing.
I ain't ever post on that thing.
My last one was last night, like at 1 a.m, where I just said I fucking love to swear.
That's the thing that like teenagers say.
Yeah.
Man,
Right,
I
Dad.
fucking love to swear, man. It's great. 4,700 is what I'm at.
Dang.
Oh, wow.
I actually use my Tumblr fairly regularly though, so that's probably why.
I'm at 4,879.
Whoa, you have more than Troy?
That's weird.
Holy
Well,
shit.
he's been on like 2 years more. hasn't
Yeah.
he?
And
He's
I
a
also
Tumblr superstar.
I've been on it for a lot longer than you guys, and I also spam it with way more garbage than you guys do. So
That's debatable, I think.
Yeah.
But
Everything I put on there is absolutely.
you're more of a quality over quantity kind of guy. I'm a just volume, just as many asks as possible. Just
What am I?
clog it up. I don't know.
you just kind of
A
shit
guy who
every now
uses
and
the
then,
internet.
I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. Every once in a while, I'll remember that I have a Tumblr. I'll get on there, answer some questions, or draw
Whereas-
some anime.
Hey
Whereas
guys, I took a Hearthstone break. Ask
Yeah.
me questions.
Whereas Brian just comes in and is like a ray of sunshine every now and then.
He's like a sparkly Batman. He just kind of
Yeah.
swoops
I've never
in.
seen him post.
I have a few times.
Some people say he never has,
But if
But
you
I-
believe hard enough,
but if you look hard enough and with a tiny pinch of magic,
He's like
he'll be there for you right when you need him the most.
a buff rock climbing internet Tinkerbell. That's Brian.
That's exactly it. Yeah. Perfect. That's exactly right. So anyway, that's our
That's our con updates.
that's our company-wide newsletter.
newsletter in audio form.
Yep. Thanks for listening. Thanks for subscribing to our email newsletter where you get all the best deals, all the latest news about the biggest stars in podcasting.
all the latest stories about your favorite internet bits on the internet with videos and audios and emails. Subscribe
Every
today.
day, like or subscribe our emails and post onto the internet all of the things that are great about us and you together forever. THAC.tv.
What's next?
We are all best friends. Next on the list is a little something that Troy brought to our attention earlier called Buzzword Storytime. Troy, would you like to tell us a little bit
Let me
about this
tell
little
you
game?
something about my favorite Wikipedia page.
Okay.
There's a Wikipedia page.
Ninja Turtles.
Close. Sephiroth. No.
Star Wars Extended Universe.
Yes. There is I don't know if you know this, it's a little hard to find, but there is a Wikipedia page that has nothing but buzzwords on it. Buzzwords being
The TV tropes of language.
I guess so. The TV tropes of boring businessmen.
It says the Wikipedia article for buzzwords says a buzzword is a word or phrase used to impress or one that is fashionable. Buzzwords often originate in jargon or are neologisms.
Hey guys, let me calibrate expectations.
Don't start the game yet.
I wasn't
So
gaming anything. I'm
there's-
trying to impress you.
there's a game that I thought up a few days ago when I was talking to someone where you take a few seconds to figure out the best buzzword. You take any of these buzzwords on this
the list
page,
of buzzwords.
on the list of buzzwords, and you try to make the best / worst company mission statement, fake company mission statement. Because when I had a job not too long ago when I was interning with someone, when I was doing my internship for college in Birmingham.
You didn't have the benefit of Marble Hornets then.
Right. And yeah, you guys just don't want to talk about it. There was a time when I had to sit down and try to generate business leads. At one point, I was literally given...
Were you cold calling people?
Sort of. I was internet cold calling people. Gotcha. There was one point where I was literally given the Yellow Pages and said, have at it. Nice. With or which one's the business? Is that Yellow Pages? Businesses are like Yellow Pages. Yeah. White Pages are people.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was given the Yellow Pages and they just said, start working your way through it. All of them. Ugh. Find their website, send them an email that says, I am blank, I do videos, would you hire me please?
One hell of an internship right there.
Yep. I mean, I didn't do just that.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a fine internship. I just hated that part. So I realized whenever I found their websites, I would say 60% of the time I would find their website and on it they would have their mission statement or whatever, and I could not tell you what they did. It would always be like network computing solutions or, something solution. Solutions is a very popular word.
So we're ahead of those businesses in that our mission statement is we give you the thing you paid for.
Right. So we're already one step ahead of them.
See, that was one of the suggestions that we were tossing around before we went with THAC LLC as the name of the company, because we were kicking around buzzword titles for a while.
Exactly. Like, that's where we got that idea.
Digital video entertainments, or digital video entertainment solutions.
Yeah,
it's pretty good.
So seeing that, let's try to make our own mission statements that make absolutely no sense but sound really impressive.
Okay.
Who wants to go first?
You go first so you can give us an example.
You're
Let
the
me
veteran
tell you
here.
about my company. I'm going to call it... Name doesn't matter. I'm going to call it Cloud Computing Solutions.
Okay.
Cloud Computing Network Solutions.
What do you do for us?
Well, we enable free value event horizons for hyperlocal logistics with a mission critical offshore seamless serum.
Good. Yeah.
Wow. I would invest in that.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. So that's what Cloud Computing Network Solutions does. If you would like to fund me on my Indiegogo.
Flexible funding, of course. So that versus... okay, let's see. My company is called Juxtaposed Huxtables.
Inc.
Yeah.
What do you specialize in?
Well, sir or madam,
I would like to invest in this company.
We specialize in sort of viral web 2.0 vlogging solutions.
Right.
Where we sort of synergize the virtualization of the scalability of these vlogs for a better podcasting tomorrow. Yeah.
Podcasting tomorrow?
No, podcasting tomorrow. Add a little pizzazz to it.
Wait.
Add a little pizzazz, a little,
Is podcasting tomorrow actually on here?
Podcasting is.
Oh, okay.
Right in between pizzazz and portal.
Apparently terrorist is a buzzword. I'm just looking through this, and that's one of them.
Really?
Yeah, down under politics and current affairs.
Oh, politics. Okay, yeah, I can see terrorist being a political buzzword.
Oh, yeah.
Right below stakeholder.
And plutocracy.
Warfighter?
Warfighter.
Wasn't that the name of a Tom Clancy game? Wasn't it like Ghost Recon?
There isn't even an entry on Warfighter. It just says for the video game, see Medal of Honor Warfighter.
Yeah.
What is Warfighter? What is that a buzzword of?
Under other and uncategorized, there's anti-fragile. Wouldn't anything not fragile be considered that?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I am very anti-fragile, depending upon the size of the card that hits me.
I mean, it's not strictly fragile, but it's not anti-fragile either. It's
let me tell you about my business,
Okay.
Anti-Fragile Solutions.
All right.
At the end of the day, we try to break through the clutter, shun the typical brick and mortar paradigm. We're reaching out to synergize with Generation X.
Of course,
here.
you got to always top dollar
Using
Generation X.
analytics, ballpark figures, bandwidth, business to business and business to consumer strategies. We've learned to boil the frog.
Of course.
And we feel with this core competency, we can really eat our own dog food.
Tell me about the tell me about the scalability of your mobile ocean boiling.
Well, with the logistics of that, we really know how to make it pop. We do
Not gonna be an e-learning.bomb, right?
no.
Okay.
We strive for seamless integration to really bring social marketing strategies.
HTML5.
HTML5 is one of them, one of the many things.
Good.
Now, would you say you take more of a holistic approach, or are you a little more proactive with it?
We're definitely into liquefaction, and we aren't into that whole folk synonymy or fuzzy logic. We're all about innovation here.
So
You're really pushing the envelope, right?
So you're really wanting to increase the workflow of the transmedia tagging experience.
Right. All while decreasing overhead.
Of course,
and
that should go with any with any
everything.
business.
Thinking outside the box.
Yeah.
Is a must for working for our web services.
No pandering to nanotechnology, right?
Yeah.
No, absolutely not. And
You really got to leverage that creative energy.
we're
right.
we're really looking for the best in class terrorist.
Really sync up the struts. Got it. Best in class terrorist with responsive scalability and mobile mashup innovation.
Yeah.
Well done.
That's an Oscar-worthy performance.
I'd buy that.
I would buy that for $1.
What was the name of my Anti-Fragile Solutions?
Yeah.
Anti-Fragile
pretty good.
Solutions. Invest today, everyone.
Invest today.
The stock is
It's
going
the-
public next week.
It's the business of tomorrow.
You can
for you today.
You can pre-purchase the stock. If you pre-purchase the stock now, you get a wonderful beer koozie that has Joseph's face on it.
And also that entire thing we just said.
No, not Joseph's face, just his eyes.
Yeah.
Like
Right.
just sort of his...
Collect
he's-
them all.
Yeah, he's sort of peeking through the windows of possibility.
18 to collect. 18 eyes to collect. Collect them all.
Yeah. And when you collect them all, you get like some kind of eyeball cyborg.
No. When you collect them all, you get
They synergize into one
a
super eye.
definite feeling of innovation and
Shifting paradigms.
mobile pizzazz with your podcasting
Nice.
real-time responsive solutions. Real-time responsive solutions. That's what-
Datafication.
I'm changing my company name to that.
Bleeding edge.
Wasn't that fun?
Yes.
That's one of my favorite games now.
But I think we pretty much used up all
I
of the
know.
buzzwords
We just went through the
first time
entire
around.
thing.
Yeah. Well, if you
We should have done a word limit.
if you have a new company you're founding and would like to tell us your mission statement, please send it to podcast@THAC.tv.
We'd love to hear it.
We'd love to read it on the air so we can get investors in on the ground floor of the stock options and business.
Yeah.
Terrorists.
Business terrorists. with the number of times we've said terrorist in this podcast, I wonder if we're on some kind of FBI watch list yet.
I hope so.
We probably
it
already
means
are.
Somebody was actually listening.
Oh yeah. Anyway, that was fun.
It sure was.
We're gonna bring some more games to podcast.
We're all about making up our own stupid games on this podcast.
Some new features.
Yeah. Oh man, you can't save while you're recording. I was gonna stop real quick and save.
Yeah.
All right. So anyway, what you been up to lately, Tim?
DVDs.
Oh yeah.
DVDs, and
That's
I
boring.
went back to watching Doctor Who, the really old show from the early 60s, like right at the beginning, like 63 or something like that. And
did you just roll your eyes?
It's pretty good.
Oh, you were yawning away from the microphone.
Just
as soon as Tim starts talking about Doctor Who, you just hear
fuck off.
See,
I've never seen any. No, I've seen like 30 minutes of a Doctor Who episode.
It's was it from like the
It was
newer
one of the newer ones.
Okay.
like David Tennant Doctor Who, I guess.
I don't know.
The old ones feel more like kind of like a way cheaper Twilight Zone. Like it still has that.
Twilight Zone is pretty cheap too.
Yeah, exactly. It's got all the fun monsters and rubber suits and all that kind of stuff, and it's I think I'm only one like story away from like the end of the first season or something like that, but they're not really delineated very much because they were just kind of a year-round thing.
You know something I just realized I wanted?
What?
I want someone to have a Godzilla movie, but instead of making it modern and quote-unquote cool, they should make one that just straight up is like a love letter to men in rubber monster suits movies.
So they need to get the guys that made that Call of Cthulhu movie. Did you ever see that?
Exactly. They definitely need to do that. That movie's on Netflix, I think.
Have you ever seen that, Joseph?
It was At the Mountains of Madness, I think. Is the one. It's At the Mountains of Madness, isn't it? The one.
No, it's just called the Call of Cthulhu. I think there might be a Mountains of Madness movie, but it's something else. It's like
Call of Cthulhu was like an Xbox game or something.
It was, but it was
story.
Yeah, it was named after an H.P. Lovecraft story. But they basically it was made in like 2005 or something like that. But they used all these techniques to make it look as much of a legit silent movie from the 20s as possible, and they did a really good job.
I think I remember hearing about that.
So that's something that I would want to do one day. That's why I said in the last podcast, I said that if I had unlimited resources, I would want to make something like Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared. By the way, help fund their Kickstarter still going on. So it's like I want to see a movie where someone does not try to hide the fact that it's a guy in a rubber monster suit any more than they did back then. Like don't make it a funny comedy of like it's a guy in a rubber monster suit. It's funny.
Like he's tripping over stuff.
Like
play it for reals. Play it for laughs.
Like make it all DIY style. The way
I'd watch
it used
that.
To be. I would watch the hell out of that.
I'd buy that for $2.
I just realized I wanted that as you were saying the rubber monster suit Doctor Who stuff. What have you been doing, Joseph? Playing Hearthstone?
Regretting video game purchases. Yeah.
That's something we do a lot.
Yeah. Got all caught up on the Watch Dogs hype train.
Choo.
I've played several hours of it, but I'm not even like a third of the way through. And I
have my Steam pulled up right here. Let's see how many hours I've put into it.
Yeah, I have no motivation to play it anymore. And like the last couple of times I played it, I would play it for like 30 minutes and then just turn it off.
Yeah. My Steam says 10 hours, but I think I left it on one day when I went to the store. So a couple of those hours.
I'm probably somewhere around there too.
It's
okay. It's just.
I know we said we don't talk about video games, but whatever. I don't care anymore.
We can talk about video games
sometimes.
Whatever. As long as not everything is about video games.
Yeah. What? Not everything is about video games? What's your problem?
I know.
That's weird.
I'm really cutting into our chances of becoming a popular podcast by saying that.
Yeah, it's fine. It's not $60 fine though.
Yeah,
definitely not $60 fine.
It's not even $45 fine for me. I would pay $30 for it. Like if you can get it half off or something during a summer sale, definitely jump on it. But
it's more or less worth it. I mean, probably wait until like the winter sale. It will probably be significantly off on Steam.
Yay.
It's
It was I kind of feel like Watch Dogs was the Edge of Tomorrow of video games recently, where it's like there was promise, but then they just decided not to, take any chances.
Well, just like Edge of Tomorrow was when we talked about it on
the Movie Mandate, which you can check out.
Which you can check out, yeah.
We can link to it in the description below.
Yeah. We recently did a podcast with them, if you didn't see.
Where we talked about Edge of Tomorrow.
I got distracted by animals.
That Tom Cruise movie.
I listened through it. We did not talk about that movie much at all.
Well, whatever. There wasn't much to say.
Yeah.
Yeah, Watch Dogs is kind of like that in that it showed a general lack of confidence in its own premise.
Yep.
But
so maybe the sequel, they'll be like, oh, wait.
That's how I felt when when I played Skyrim and when I played Watch Dogs, when I played Skyrim, I thought, man, I cannot wait for Fallout to be in this engine. And then when I played Watch Dogs, I was like, man, I cannot wait for Watch Dogs 2 because it's going to be so much better than this.
Yeah.
Probably.
Wait, are you saying that you felt like Skyrim wasn't confident in his premise?
No. I'm just saying the general idea of thinking I can't wait for what comes
next
from
thing.
this.
Gotcha.
Yeah. No,
Gotcha.
Skyrim was awesome. It's just that was probably a bad comparison to
Yeah,
make.
I was about to say, I was like,
a strictly okay game and a great game compared. Yeah.
And then also, I got suckered into getting WildStar too. Because I have bad influences for friends. They're like, hey, we're not going to buy this game. We'll stand strong together. And then like 3 hours later, I'll get a text being like, hey, I bought the game. Go ahead and get it.
Now, what exactly is WildStar?
It's a new MMO.
Oh, boy.
Wait, hold on. Was that a jab at me or
No, not you. But you have done that to me before.
Yeah. I couldn't tell if you're talking about strictly me or
this
okay.
was
because there was that one time where I said, hey, you should get Guild Wars
and all of the expansions.
and all the expansion packs, and we'll play it together. And then we played it for like
an hour.
Maybe like 3 hours.
And you were like, okay, I'll be back later. And then you never got on again.
You never told me to. You never mentioned it.
That's what I keep doing to Erica because she's way more into online games than me. So I'll just be like, hey, you should buy Chivalry. And then she does. And we play it for like a day or two. And then I forget about it. And she's like, why did you make me buy this?
Yep.
Well, was it not worth it to hammer on the yell?
Yeah, that's what that game is for. It's a yelling simulator with swords attached.
Yeah.
I mean, I like
blasphemy.
I like WildStar. Okay.
Is it an MMO?
Yeah, it's an MMO. That's the part.
Well, I mean, I know it's an MMO, but is it an MMO? Is that what it is? Is that how it goes?
I honestly, I don't feel like I've played it enough to give it a fair shake, because I hear that it's one of those games where you have to get to a certain threshold, and that's when the game really starts being.
Oh yeah,
fun.
I've heard that before.
And apparently,
I've only put in 40 hours. That's like the 30 minutes for an MMO time.
Apparently,
that's the prologue of the Old Republic. I'm not kidding.
Yeah. Which is awesome. It's a good single player game.
I do not agree with that, but okay.
Well, what were you playing?
Huh?
What were you playing in the Old Republic?
I was playing Imperial. What were they? Infiltrators with you?
Oh right, you were like doing the James Bond kind of mission thing.
Yeah, well basically the rogue of the Old Republic, and then when you weren't on, which was most of the time, I was playing a Republic Commando.
Yeah, you picked some boring stuff though.
Sorry.
You gotta go with the
pick
Sith.
the right part of the game.
No, I love the Sith warrior thing. But anyway, WildStar. Apparently, it picks up around level 15 when you can start doing dungeons and stuff. But right now, it's just running around killing stuff, collecting bear asses, and I just don't have it. I don't have any motivation to do it. I haven't even gotten to the player housing part.
Roll that back a second. Collecting what?
Bear asses. That's an old trope when describing MMOs, because it's like all these collection quests. It's like, go kill like 30 of these animals, but you can't just kill them. You have to collect their pelts, but their pelts don't drop all the time.
For whatever reason.
So you got to keep on killing them until their ass falls off.
I think that's what
sucks.
I think that's what made me really, really hate World of Warcraft, was when they would give you a quest that was not just kill X number of Y, it was kill X to get Y.
Yeah.
I really, really, really hated those quests so much because the drop rate on those things were terrible.
I mean, the questing in WildStar is pretty standard fare from what I've seen. And granted, take everything I'm saying with a grain of salt. It might still be your cup of tea. For me, the problem with MMOs, I think, is that I'm at the grumpy part where I don't want to make new friends in MMOs. I don't want to make a new guild. I have my guild mates from when I was 18 playing World of Warcraft that I still play video games with across different games. Those are the people I play with. And if they're not all playing the game, I don't really care to play that MMO.
That's just kind of how I am with multiplayer games in general. I think I just have to accept that fact because I can never get into them for very long, and I think it's just
I always trick myself into thinking I can.
I think video games are what I do whenever I don't want to talk to other people. So it's like if other people are invading my space, then it just gets not fun.
I've found
Dark
leave me
Souls
alone.
notwithstanding.
I've found, like when I was playing World of Warcraft, I was big on raiding and stuff, doing all that bleeding edge content.
Oh man,
get all the best purples and stuff. After we all went our separate ways, people started having kids, stopped playing a game that's 10 years old,
losers,
stuff like that.
how could you
like
abandon us?
The player versus environment type games like WildStar and stuff like that. Like that aspect of it doesn't interest me as much, and I've found myself more into like the actual like player versus player stuff.
It has player versus player stuff?
I'm
right?
sure it
like
does. I just haven't gotten there.
Oh, okay.
And I do like the combat of WildStar, which is, you know, you actually have stuff you can avoid. It's not just stand there and whack it.
I hear it's really hard when you do. I hear it's really hard when you do like a dungeon or something.
You whack it.
Yeah.
When you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they like telegraph their moves.
Yeah.
With like little red spheres or something.
Yeah, it's pretty well done.
So kind of like how in Assassin's Creed 4 they would have the little red marks when a ship was firing at you.
Oh yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, when I was recently playing through the Old Republic, I found myself doing a lot of PvP because I didn't want to do the quests. The quests were boring. So
it's weird because
I would just level up through PvP.
The way that it felt to me when I played the Old Republic was that the actual playing the game part was just kind of the thing you had to do to get the reward, which was the dialogue trees.
Yeah,
those were your rewards that you got. Was oh boy, dialogue trees. Like
I will say
BioWare.
it was because the Old Republic was the last MMO I played before WildStar, because I just gone through and played through the single player again, and for those of you that have not picked up on that joke yet, it's that the story quest or the single player of that game. Yeah. It's basically Knights of the Old Republic, but MMO.
With other people stealing your kills.
Right. So going to WildStar where there is nothing like that, it's actually pretty jarring, and it kind of makes me miss it, even though I was skipping through a lot of the like incidental dialogue.
Wait, you're saying that WildStar does not really have the story type stuff?
I mean, it doesn't, you know, no other MMO is doing the cutscene to talk to you thing, which is a little weird to me. After playing that again, I stopped playing the Old Republic because they track achievements on there too, because everyone has achievements, and
unfortunately for me,
I was doing so much PvP that I looked, and over the course of like the 2 or 3 weeks that I was playing it, I'd already accumulated something like 6,000 kills, and I was like, I might be playing this a little too much.
Weren't you like top player on the server or something at one point?
I mean, back when the game first launched and literally no one knew what they were doing, I had a group of like 4 people that we did a lot of hardcore PvP. I never did any of the rated stuff because that didn't exist yet.
Is it still the Tortanic?
It seems like it's stabilized a little bit just because there's so few servers now.
Okay.
But I don't know. I didn't even play it enough coming back. I played it for like 3 weeks or so, and then
is it free to play now?
It is, but there's some pretty heavy restrictions on what you can do.
Is it like WoW where you can't go past level 20 or something?
No, nothing like that. It's just certain stuff, like you'll have credit limits that like your money, you can only have so much, or crew skills, like your professions and stuff like that. They can all be unlocked through either pay for them or just
grind them out.
Yeah, something like that. It's weird. I was just like, screw it, I'll pay $15 for a month and just play it.
I read somewhere that WildStar does the thing that EVE Online does, which is they have an item that is game time.
Oh yeah. That was one of the selling points my friend gave to me to get me to buy it, but I'm like, I'm not going to play this game enough to do that. I'm not going to
play it enough to have this massive amount of money to pay for game time with. Yeah, that's more MMOs should do that. That seems like a good in-between of free to play and not.
As much as I hate it, I'll probably will go back to Warcraft when they do the next expansion. Yeah. Because I have a problem.
well, you said they were going to do World of Warcraft 2 after this one. Probably?
I don't know. I have no idea. I don't even know.
It's all internet video game rumors, which are usually 100% not true.
Completely made up.
Now they're lowering all the stat numbers, which is what I wanted, because I was sick of seeing. It's like, I don't even know if this number has any relevance because it's just a huge fucking number.
Yeah.
And then they're adding base building, which is something I have a huge nerd hard on for.
That is something.
It doesn't help that I've been playing a lot of Hearthstone recently, so the nostalgia is kicking in too.
That is a problem that I have, not with base building, but for some reason, customizing areas like that is something that I cannot ever get enough of. Because,
I mean, maybe you should buy WildStar.
Customizing areas like
Animal Crossing is my favorite game.
Yeah.
Like for Nintendo.
Just get WildStar. You can do that.
So like sometimes enemies can drop furniture.
Yeah.
That's awesome, and I want that.
Yeah.
A lot.
In fact,
But first, you have to kill like 50 of them and then take the parts to someone who can build it for you, probably.
No.
Joseph,
I'm not even.
Joseph just shook his finger right into his face.
I am not even to the part where you can play house decorator, but half of my inventory is filled with flowers that I've picked.
You can put them in your house?
I'm pretty sure I can. And I also have some glowing mushrooms that are named decor. So I'm guessing I can put mushrooms all over my house.
Put them on your head. Put them on your face.
I don't know.
Can you give yourself face mushrooms?
I don't know why,
maybe.
but one of the first things I do whenever I play a game, like with Watch Dogs or something, the first thing I did was went through all the clothes to buy to see which one looked
That
the
was
coolest.
a disappointing find on Watch Dogs. It's like, this is just reskin.
Oh, look, it's more coats that he doesn't know how to button up properly because...
So, like an Ask Creed game, it's like, oh, it's the same robes, but red.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, it's the same robes again, except now they're brown.
When I was playing Ask Creed 4, they had more of a...
Yeah, that one actually had things.
They still had reskins, but they had unique things.
2 was literally just the same costume with different colors. So
yeah, they were just reskins. It
Whatever.
costs a lot of money to do that, Tim. It costs a lot of money to make new clothes like that.
yeah, to do those palette swaps are expensive.
Yeah,
Yep.
I mean, you should know this by now.
Yeah.
Ubisoft does not have the time or resources or money to spare for that. Changing anything from the status quo?
Can we talk about grammar for a second?
Grammar.
Grammar?
Grammar.
Okay.
Because when Watch Dogs launches,
Oh, okay. I know what you're
it
talking
says a Ubisoft production.
about.
That's wrong. It's
They're French.
It's an Ubi.
They're
So
French
now
Canadians.
I think I've figured
You're
out.
saying the French don't have to follow the rules? Is that what you're saying?
No, what I'm saying is maybe that's not how they do it.
Yeah.
I don't know, but
Well, it's in America. It's on my American internet. It's going to be American.
like it's not even.
I've
it's not even a
started
thing.
pronouncing it internally as a Ubisoft.
That might be it, or it's like when you say, if you say the letter H, you would say like it's an H because it's the sound you make. But that doesn't even work for Ubisoft because
That's still a vowel sound.
So maybe it is Ubisoft.
If you or anyone you know works for Ubisoft or Ubisoft, please email us at podcast@THAC.tv.
My uncle works for Nintendo.
Oh man, does he have the cheat codes to the game?
Yeah, I can unlock the hand in Smash Brothers with a code.
Can you tell me how to beat Zelda 2?
No one knows how to beat the Zelda 2.
Can you tell me how to beat Simon's Quest?
No.
That's impossible. There's actually not an ending to that game. It just stops at one point.
Except somehow your dad magically figured it out.
I did have a slightly disappointing moment one time when I went back to my parents' house when they still lived there. We have a Sega Saturn.
Yeah.
And there's a game for it called Siberia. I think I might have talked about this at one point.
Oh, and it's spelled like cyber.
Cyberia, yeah. And it was kind of like Myst, sort of, but you had an actual person that you moved around. It was kind of like The Longest Journey, I guess.
Uh-huh.
Or Grim Fandango, but it was like he was on tracks. You couldn't just walk around anywhere. You had to like face him a certain direction and you could walk down that track. And I went through it because I remember thinking, man, my dad was a genius when he figured all this stuff out.
Oh, I remember this story.
And then I went back through because there's one part specifically where you had to get into a computer. There's a password, and you couldn't. It asked you for a password, and you're like, I don't know what this is. And there is like, you'd have to see the name of the person whose computer that belonged to. You'd have to go to their dorm room, basically, like their living space.
Yep.
And on their wall, they had a picture of Einstein. And if you go back to the computer and type in Einstein as the password, it works. And I remember thinking my dad was a genius for that until I saw that there's a audio or like a video, like, because it's in the future, so you have video mail instead of email.
What?
So it's just like video clips people send to each other where they're just talking at a camera.
Imagine that.
Weird. And the person, like, you could launch this video file without needing the password.
I can't wait to live in this future.
And the person said, by the way, I changed your password. I changed it to your hero. Hope you know who I'm talking about. So it's like, oh, that's how I figured it out.
Your dad's still a genius, don't worry.
He's still a genius for figuring out Simon's Quest. I don't really know how he did that.
Happy Father's Day, everyone.
maybe he called the Nintendo helpline when no one was looking.
Maybe so.
I once called the Nintendo hotline to ask why my Pokemon weren't obeying me. And it's because
You needed a badge. You needed another badge.
yeah, I needed another badge.
You overleveled?
They asked me what. No, I didn't overlevel because they'll still obey you if they were your original Pokemon. I had someone trade me a level 100 thing, though. So, you know.
to prevent that. Wait, so if you
So
grinded,
did you call it when you were like 10?
Yeah, this was like
Awesome.
This was like red and blue.
charge your parents like $10 for a minute worth of talking or something?
Yeah.
Was it like a real person?
Yeah.
Huh. That's cool. Did they not say to you,
I have a question for
have
the
your-
president of Nintendo. How do I get my Pokemon to listen to me?
Basically.
Yeah.
did they say like, did you get your parents' permission to call this number?
I don't remember. It's been so long.
Seems like they would. I don't know.
I don't know.
Anyway,
It was a different time. A pre 9/11 America.
as for me, pre-Obama America, I tell you what.
That's the political sassiness this
Yeah.
podcast has been
That's
missing.
That's what we're really known for.
Shot to the veins. A real
Let me tell you something about
shot to the jugular.
government politics. They should just quit it.
Just stop.
Wish he would just
Wish they would just knock that off. Let's move on to questions.
No, Troy hasn't told us what he's been doing.
Oh,
What have you been doing?
I thought you did.
Not really.
No,
I guess I just zoned out during
I was just
WildStar.
responding to Joseph's dorkiness.
Okay.
Sorry. What have you been doing, Troy?
Well, lately I have been trying to get into things that I wouldn't normally do. Like, I looked at my Steam the other day. I've tried to play The Witcher about 5 times because I hear that it's a great game. And
you collect sex tarot cards, don't you?
in the first one you do.
Okay.
So
you're not playing
I
the
tried
first one?
playing that one twice, and I thought I will never like this game.
Okay.
I cannot figure. Like I was playing on normal, and
Is it just one of those like oppressively hard games?
It's not oppressively hard. It's just needlessly complicated.
Gotcha.
It's just like, and I think the part of that was playing on a keyboard, but that, you know, I actually don't think the first one had a controller support.
I think the first one was meant to be played on a keyboard because it was built on the Neverwinter Nights engine, so it
Right.
was supposed to be all RPG.
So I skipped ahead to The Witcher 2, tried to play it 3 times, could never get the hang of it, and this time I've gotten further than I have before, so maybe I'm starting to get into it more, and it's still, like, I'm playing on easy, and it's still, I still die an embarrassingly high
Maybe
number
you're
of times.
just
Do you
bad at video games.
Like it?
It's the fact.
mean-
Are you just playing it to play it?
Well, I'm playing it because I hear the story of it's really good, and I really like Game of Thrones, and it seems kind of like that. Kind of like the whole dark fantasy, whatever, even though I wouldn't really call Game of Thrones dark fantasy.
You must have a
but-
higher bullshit threshold than me because I can't really force myself to play like a game that I don't really like for
Well-
more than a little bit.
I thought Mass Effect was really boring at first. So, and now I think it's one of the best. Like,
I did force myself to get all the way through Assassin's Creed 3, and I
I don't know
should
how
have
you
quit
did
while
that.
I was ahead.
I don't know why you did that. So I've been playing that, and then on top of that, I finally, after people have told me this, I'm not an anime person.
Yeah, that's my job. Back off.
I mean, I don't seek out anime to watch, but I finally got around because I saw it was on Netflix. I started watching Attack on Titan, and it's anime, but it's all right. I am like 7 episodes in.
You heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen. The glowing review by Troy Wagner.
It's for an anime.
It is fine for an anime.
I am not an anime person. For an anime, it's pretty good.
Wow, you're stepping it up. Now it's pretty good.
I mean, no, I would say I was gonna say for an anime it's all right, but that's not really true. For an anime, it's pretty good. For a show, for just a show, it's good. It's good.
I remember you were
Firing the
talking-
cannons across the bow, matey.
I remember the first few episodes you watched. You were like, you're not hot on it.
No, I watched I got 20 seconds into the first episode and thought I can't do this.
Wow.
As soon as it started with the overly excitable Japanese singing theme that
Is it like speed rock? Like,
oh yeah.
yeah.
And it's in like, I don't think they have like any kind of English dubbed version on Netflix, or if they have one at all. So it's like the original Japanese voice actors and everything, and so it has the theme music about, you know, fighting and staying true to yourself and everything.
Everyone's
And-
like flying across the screen. All
yes, absolutely.
slashing
Tell me,
swords.
yes, tell me what you think is in this theme, and like
Okay.
in
Friendship.
In the
You have
theme
to, you
song
have
itself.
to be more specific.
And
Like
the theme-
what the theme song sings about, or what's being shown.
Okay, it should be noted that I've never I don't even know that I've even seen a screenshot of Attack on Titan.
You probably haven't, didn't realize it.
Yeah. Okay. So we've already covered there. People flying across the screen, all fighting, got swords.
Definitely.
Everything.
Yep.
What time period is this in, by the way?
It's. I've never really been able to pick up if it's the future or if it's an alternate past. Because it's like everyone, they all have medieval technology, kind of, like they use cannons, but they also use like these, when they fly across the screen, they have like these like engines on their asses that propel them, and they shoot like these cables that hook into things, and it pulls them along as they fly up to the Titans.
Is there any point in the theme where the flying across the screen kind of subsides a little bit to go to a androgynous person looking down, and I don't know, there's probably like flowers or sparkles or something?
Yes.
Holy shit. Holy shit.
Yes.
See, this is why I'm the anime expert.
Yeah.
So, I know nothing about anime, so I'm basically just picturing the opening sequence for that. Did you ever play that N64 game Mystical Ninja starring Gomon?
No, I never had an N64.
Oh, it just seems that's kind of what I base. That's my metric. That's my baseline. I guess.
Please do not take this the wrong way, people that like anime. I think it's good. I'm not making fun of it, but it's just
They're cliches.
there are animeisms.
There are
and
a
things.
lot of cliches and things we like. So
Yeah.
you know.
So it's like it's the fact that Joseph has pretty much been a 1-for-1 on this.
Okay.
Like,
Well, we got like 3 for.
okay, see
Yeah, let's go-
all the
yeah.
ones that you're thinking here.
Okay, so we have flying across the screen, fighting, swords are slashing around.
Yep.
The slow down androgynous person with sparkles and or flowers.
Well, that's mostly right, but that's enough to where to work.
But it does like a slow pan or anything like that.
I think
during
so.
that part
I
up
think
onto the
so.
androgynous person.
I think so. Yeah.
Okay, at the end, is there a group shot?
Yes.
And there's probably like some sort of like dirt cloud explosion or something behind them, maybe.
Not quite.
Not quite. Do they
But
like?
there is
do they
a group-
slide into a like action stop?
No, it's not. It's not
Okay,
that kind of.
not
anime.
that kind. Okay.
There is a group shot though, but what are they doing in this group shot, if anything?
They're probably looking at the screen all aggressively and stuff, aren't they? No.
You want?
It's a tough one.
I mean, I'm gonna tell you, and you're gonna feel stupid.
Okay, go ahead and tell me.
They're all standing with their back. Okay.
Oh, they're back to the camera, looking over it. No. Oh yeah. Yeah. Okay.
I just did.
Well,
the-
that's kind of what I
And
meant. But I
they're
was thinking
standing-
they would be facing towards the
they're
camera.
standing in a field and there's wind blowing. Like
yeah.
their hair.
Yeah, that was going to be my second one after like the dirt explosion.
Yeah.
is
They're standing in a nice field with all their swords drawn and
Okay.
everything. I think that pretty much covered the whole thing. I
Nice.
think. Is there any other ones that you can think of?
I mean, not off the top of my head. I feel like I have a pretty good grasp of it.
You want to pause for a second? I'll show it to you. So you can
Yeah,
see it,
let's
right?
do that.
Okay, hold on. Let's pause for just a second, and I'll see what Joseph's reaction is. So is that about what you expected?
It was pretty close, but not entirely what I was thinking.
Okay.
I was thinking more they were going to go with the whole fast music and everything, and then there was going to be a pause and the slow like pan shot of people looking all brooding and stuff.
No, it's
but it's right at the beginning, so
Yeah.
that threw me off a little bit.
It is a very long intro.
Yeah,
It's on every
and I did
episode.
recognize the
We'll
music.
give you that. Yeah.
I did recognize the music, so I guess I was that knowledgeable about Attack on Titan.
Yeah.
If someone played that, I'd be like, I have heard that before.
Yeah,
I don't know what that's from.
I think someone even on Tumblr put that music to something where Marvel Hornets related, and that's where
Yeah.
I heard it for the first time.
Yeah.
I think. I'm pretty sure. But yeah, that's what I've been doing. I'm in 7 episodes in. It's got
How many episodes are there?
It's got some very cool moments. 24, I think.
Oh.
Tim's been working his butt off on DVDs. I've been playing MMOs. You've been watching anime.
I've been watching anime after working on the videos, so yeah.
Yeah.
I'm doing something.
Yeah.
I did some subtitles, yes.
Which
Yeah,
are
I edited
would
some.
if you are an anime person, you've probably already seen it. So me saying you should see it if you like anime probably doesn't mean anything. If you don't like anime, get through the intro because you'll feel weird watching it. You'll be like, this is like any other anime, but it give it a minute. It gets good.
give it a minute or
5 episodes.
Give it 3 episodes, and if you don't like the 3 episodes in,
that's what people told me about Arrested Development, and I still haven't watched all of the new seasons.
Season 4.
Yeah, season 4.
Once you get to the Tobias episode, it's
like
worth it.
someone, I think it was you, was like the 5th episode or whatever. It's like that's when it starts getting good.
You stopped right before.
Yeah,
that.
I stopped on 4. I was like, this show sucks now.
The first episode was fine. The second and third episode, I think, were the George Senior episodes, and they were definitely the worst.
They
of the
were
season.
bad.
They were really bad. They weren't bad. They were bad
compared to the
previous
bad, 3 seasons.
They were bad set up for the like in the pedigree of the rest.
The whole problem with the start of season 4 is it just didn't feel like Arrested Development at all. Apparently,
it felt like Arrested Development with higher than necessary production values.
Not to me. To me, it just felt like a completely different show. And apparently, that's fixed later in season 4, and it starts feeling more like.
Well, I think it's because you have more time to work yourself into it. Like you get used to it.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, maybe. But they definitely ended on a not ending. So I'm guessing they're gonna have another season. It's weird.
It's super weird.
You want to get some email questions?
Let's do some email questions.
We've talked enough about stupid stuff.
This is going to be a pretty long podcast.
First question is from Josh, and it just says, "Who's Bradley?"
Oh, yeah.
Bradley was several things. Bradley started off as an in-joke from a Let's Play.
Yeah.
For some reason, we just started.
Who is Bradley?
Laughing about the word Bradley for the name Bradley for no good reason.
It was because I had a friend, I'm doing air quotes.
Okay.
Friend. When I was I guess 10 or 11 or something, he was really bringing it full circle. He was really into Dragon Ball Z, and would just he was one of those people that those unfortunate kids that you had that considered you their friend, but you definitely didn't consider them your friend. They're just
and if you didn't have any friends like that, you were probably that friend to somebody.
Exactly.
I'm sure I was.
Yeah, I'm sure I was someone else, but he was that to me.
You were mine.
So. He would just call, I didn't have, even when they're 10, they don't call each other just to chat.
Say.
Yeah, he did.
Brian does.
I know Brian does.
Brian is a sweetheart.
He's the exception to that. He would just call me and tell me about Dragon Ball Z. He would just tell me things like, "Hey, did you see Dragon Ball Z today?" Yeah, it was a rerun. I've already seen that. I've seen the Frieza saga 5 times. Okay, I've seen
I'm an 11-year-old boy. Of course, I've seen the Frieza saga. Are you kidding me?
That's all we had back then was just the Frieza saga, and they just looped it.
Yeah.
It's like with let me talk about anime some more. It's like what they did. While they were getting new episodes, they looped it back to the beginning, and it would go a little bit further each time. They would loop it back and go a little bit further.
I mean, that's still a regular thing on Adult Swim and stuff.
Really?
Yeah. They'll just go until whatever episode they have, and then just.
I remember trying.
That should have been our Marble Hornets release strategy.
Yeah.
Just
repost everything.
Entry number 2 is entry number 1 and 2. Then number 3 is entry number 1, 2, and 3, and so on. So by the time you get to entry 86 or 87 or whatever, it's just it has all
12 hours long.
Yeah.
That would be fun to render constantly.
But each one is rendered like that on the DVD, so it has to be like a giant box set to hold them all.
It's like a 52 disc set.
Anyway,
ultimate fan collection.
So this guy was being a Bradley, right?
This guy,
he was the Bradley. He was
the Bradley. So then we realized that Bradley's a really funny name.
Yeah.
And if you have the name Bradley, we don't have anything against you. We just think it's funny.
We love your name. Actually,
we just think it's funny to say, "Don't be a Bradley."
Yeah.
So that's what. Don't be that kid that I knew that was really into Dragon Ball Z that always annoyed me talking about the Frieza saga. But it's way easier to say, "Don't be a Bradley."
Yeah. And then I got a pet rat and named him Bradley, and he was really awesome. But unfortunately, he only lived for about 2 years.
Because that's how long rats live.
Yeah,
usually,
I
right?
know. Yeah.
So that's what you said the problem with rats is. That
they have the personality of dogs, but they have
lifespan of rats.
A fraction of the lifespan of a dog. So it's imagine getting as attached as you would to your family dog, but only for 2 years. It's just it's not fun. Yeah. If it weren't for that, I would have had another pet rat by now. But anyway,
you can't deal with that emotional stress for too long.
So that was, I think, after him was sort of whenever we stopped putting special thanks to Bradley at the end of videos too.
Yeah.
It's just
I don't think. Yeah, we didn't even put an in memory of Bradley. I don't think.
Oh. Mm.
Well, yeah, because we thought that might have been a little too jarring with the running joke. So I guess
because the running joke was special thanks to Bradley, and then extra begrudgingly, thanks to Bradley.
It was going to slowly get worse. I think it's can we put that video in joke to bed, or are we gonna say never with it? Like, we might put it back in there, but does it really matter?
I don't know. Don't tie yourself down.
Yeah, never limit yourself.
Yeah. So don't say we're never gonna do that again, because then we probably will.
Yes.
Yeah. But Bradley was a cool motherfucker.
Bradley was a
He was the
chill
coolest.
rat. He was
You
a
just
chill
hang
ass
out
rat.
and just lick your hand all day.
Yep.
That's all he would ever do.
And poop in the sink.
Yep.
Pouring one out for you right now, Bradley.
Yep. Pouring out a green tea for you right now. Kyle asks.
My mouth just happens to be in front of it when I'm pouring it out.
Yep.
Kyle asks, "Hi Troy, how are you?
Hi.
What are you wearing and what do you use to animate?" But he said it says sent from Pop-Tart again. It's the same guy, but he didn't explain what the Pop-Tart means. He just keeps doing it.
I'm not going to answer your question.
We're not answering any more of your questions until you tell us what the hell the Pop-Tart is. Explain your Pop-Tart. Brian asks.
What do I use to animate? I use the same thing that I use to edit videos. That's.
Which is?
I couldn't tell you what I'm wearing right now because you wouldn't believe it.
Leave it at that. Just go on. Just go on.
Make what's on my shirt the
Yeah. Okay. The thumbnail. Yeah.
thumbnail, which is Adobe Premiere. That's
Yep.
what I use, mixed with Flash.
Yeah. You draw the frames in Flash and then you animate them in Premiere.
Which is probably a really time inefficient way to do it, but that's what I do.
Yeah.
So get over it. I have these really unconventional ways of doing things. If you don't like it, you can just get out. You can just get out.
I have really edgy opinions. Some people don't like that.
Some people don't like my edginess.
Some people don't like the way I use the software that I buy, but whatever.
Whatever,
They can't
man.
hold me down.
It is a free country.
Next.
Brian asks, "Is there anything most people
Isn't this
can?"
like the third Brian we've gotten?
There's lots of Brians in the world. Okay.
Brian, don't you have something better to do?
Is
Go
there
back to nursing
anything most people can do you guys can't that you wish you could do, such as snapping your fingers or whistling?
No,
You do that bassy whistle thing. No, he's saying, is there anything most people can do that
Yeah,
you guys can't
I know.
that you wish you could do?
I'm just showing off.
We're just so
Okay.
awesome.
Yeah.
I can't whistle, but I can't do the really loud whistle
that's
like
what I was
my
gonna
dad
say.
does,
Yeah.
like with like where you kind of where you kind of curl your tongue back. I cannot figure out how to do that, and my dad can do it perfectly. Like, because when I was a kid, he would do that, and I could hear him all across the neighborhood.
Yeah.
But
Yep.
and I've never been able to figure out how to do
useful
that.
skill.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nope.
That's the closest I've ever been.
I actually looked up. I looked up on the internet one time.
I'm just gonna mute you over there while you're doing that. No, I'm just kidding.
I looked up on the internet how to whistle like that, and I still couldn't figure it out. It was the one where you put your
I'm
fingers in
lightheaded.
Yeah.
Oh, I can do it with a piece of plastic.
Just blow harder.
I just made myself lightheaded doing that.
I can't
Good.
do it. Joseph you just hear.
Yeah.
Joseph just passes out.
Is there anything else like can you wiggle your ears? Can you do the?
I
Got
can't.
the. Can you do the single eyebrow thing? That one took me a while to figure out.
I can do this.
See, I can't do the alternating. I can only do the right eyebrow. The left eyebrow is just
The left
not
eyebrows.
compliant.
I am definitely a right eyebrowed person. I can't. The left eyebrow takes a little bit more practice.
I'm a left eyebrow guy.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
pretty good.
You can't tell, but we're all raising our eyebrows at each other right now.
Yeah. Wow, that is
That should be
that's a Facebook profile right there.
that should be our new con promotional photo. Should just be all three of us doing that. Just
It was. I remember. You remember when we made I Need to Make a Call?
Yeah.
Going way back here.
Yeah.
There was
That's
a
like
point.
2008.
check the description for the link. No, you
Nope.
can't take it back.
Well, it's
I love
not-
that video. I don't care.
I don't even know where it is on YouTube. Like I never
Campus Movie
posted it.
Fest, and I think a couple other people have rehosted it since
Okay.
then. So it's out there. It's out there.
Okay. There's one point when we did the title drop. It's like, give me the phone. I need to make a call. And then they both look at the camera. For some reason, I wanted Ellis to do an eyebrow raise, and he could not do it. Like but the face he made trying to do it was hilarious. And I wish I could show it to you, but I can't because it's audio only.
Yeah.
But it basically looked like this.
Ugh.
Oh man, that's hilarious. That's the funniest thing
Looks
I've
like
seen
you're
in my
trying
life.
to take a toot.
Yeah,
Take a
he just
duty.
kind of like he looked like he would concentrate really hard, but he would just kind of go. He just put both of his eyebrows down. It's like someone I knew in high school that couldn't wink, so he just kind of like would blink. You'd be like, "Hey, wink at me," and you go,
Was that Jeff?
Just double blink.
"What?"
Was that Jeff?
Yeah,
Yeah. I remember that.
he would just kind of be like,
Just
"What's
name
up?"
drop people from high school.
Yeah. Oh man, Jeff with crazy.
Oh, it's classic Jeff. I don't know who that is.
He was the guy who couldn't wink.
Was he a Bradley?
No.
He was not a Bradley.
No,
he was,
okay.
he was
Jeff
a
was
pretty
awesome.
cool guy.
Okay, cool.
He works for Coke now.
Nice.
Doing what?
Does he like make the Coke?
No, he's a taste tester.
What?
Yeah,
What?
it's pretty
But-
cool, isn't it?
But actually, that sounds like that'd get old pretty fast. Like, does he
Well,
test
you
taste
get-
new flavors, or does he have to test taste each batch to make
I
sure they
don't
taste
know.
right?
I mean,
I don't
that's
know.
fresh off the line Coke. That's probably got something to it that's pretty cool.
I don't know exactly what he does. I'm just going off of his Facebook.
Okay.
Just gonna go ahead and just breach that privacy real
Yeah.
quick.
For that one, that's the kind of job you can get your tongue insured for, like the Breyers
Yeah.
taste tester guy.
Wait, you can get your tongue insured?
He has his tongue insured for like $5 million.
Is he
'cause
one of
he's
those
like
super tester? Or
Yeah.
tasters?
Yes.
They can taste literally everything in a thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's like the Breyers ice cream taste tester, and his.
Is that the guy that did the?
I think he is.
That's a 10. Aerate it.
What?
We'll show it to you after
Okay.
we're done. He yeah.
Welcome to the THAC ASMR collection. Just-
So, yeah, I can't really make fun of that because I've watched those videos before and I like them.
I'm not making fun of those or anything. I don't get it, but apparently lots of people.
You're
don't,
not
so.
one of the genetically enhanced people.
Well, I'm not a superhero.
You're not one of the genetically enhanced people that have ASMR. You're not like me where you sneeze from sunlight. You're just not cool. I'm a really cool guy that can sneeze.
Hold on. Okay, just had to get that out of my system. Next question is from Malachi. What was the first video game you played, or at least remember playing? For me, it was either Super Mario World at my cousin's house or Commander Keen on my dad's old-ass DOS computer.
So I can't say that because I had a Tandy when I had Commander
Ooh.
Keen, but it was like a Tandy when Windows 95 first came out, so it was very late in the game. So it would
Fair
not
enough.
be one of the first. We were very late adopters to that, and I remember having that Tandy open and like opening up the word processor and be like, "You mean I can type anything?
I can type balls.
I can do whatever." I used to think like I would try to make ASCII art on it and everything, and did a really terrible job at it. The first game I remember playing is kind of hard because I remember seeing my dad play, to bring it around again. I remember seeing my dad play a lot of NES stuff, but I can't remember what the first thing I really played was. I think it was DuckTales on the NES because I have a very specific memory of not being able to do the cane pogo, and my mom had to teach me how to do it.
Whoa.
Of all people, like my mom, who has no idea how video games work, like knew how to do it, and she gave me the controller and was like, "Here's how you do this. You can't play the game unless you figure out how to do this."
Oh.
I think you had to jump up, press down, and B at the same time or something, and my little brain couldn't figure that out.
That's hard.
Yeah, so like I think that's the first game I definitely remember playing. If not that, it would probably be Aladdin on the Genesis.
Mine was probably the original Super Mario Brothers on NES, the Duck Hunt combo game.
The one that everyone
One of
had.
those, or Metroid.
Did that come with the NES?
I think so.
Okay.
But I think it was my mom's NES that she left in my grandparents' house, and I played it on that. I will take this to a different level, though. What is the first game you remember specifically, like you wanted and you got to play? Because mine, I think, was Final Fantasy VII, because I remember watching the promos on Toonami because they did the video games review, and they're like, "This is the best game that's ever been made," and I was like, "Oh,
I have to have this.
I have to have this." And my mom got it for me, and oh my god, I still love that game so much.
Okay, so that explains why you got very defensive when I said Final Fantasy VII wasn't the
Yeah,
best
that's
one.
like my first.
Okay.
That's the game that made me start playing.
That'd be like saying DuckTales on the NES was crap to me
Yeah.
or something. Okay.
That's why I have 3 hard copies of Final Fantasy VII.
Do you have
And you have it on Steam now too.
I have 4 copies total. If you can
do you have Black Label with typo?
I have Greatest Hits. I have Black Label without typo and Black Label with typo.
Got it. That used to be worth a lot more than it is now.
It is worth Almost nothing now.
Really?
Yeah.
Like Black Label with typo is worth
With
almost nothing?
typo, worth almost nothing.
Should have jumped on that.
Oh well.
Darn. I do still have Misadventures of Tron Vaughn though, which is worth quite a bit of money on the PS1.
The greatest hits and the no typo ones, I'm pretty sure would sell for less than the shipping.
I think
because it went digital now.
I think the first game that I got specifically, or one that like
one that you wanted, like the first game that you said I want this one and then got it.
Because
like,
I remember
not belonging to someone else.
I also have a very specific memory of my grandma. I was at Toys R Us, and I wanted the Jetsons on NES, and I got it. But I mean, you mean like one that I was really hyped for or something? Because when you say Final Fantasy VII, that sounds like I don't know.
Well,
maybe.
Here's the thing with my video games is we had an NES and a Super Nintendo, but those weren't my systems. They were like my parents.
You were at the mercy of whatever they wanted.
Right. So, and I mean, no one bought video games, and in my household because I was raised by my grandparents. And they didn't play video games, and I was perfectly happy playing the games that I did have because most of the time I was just watching, TV anyway.
Yeah.
But when that came out, I was like, I need a PlayStation and everything, and I got for my Christmas, I got that and Final Fantasy VII.
Oh, that's pretty awesome. It was probably the best Christmas ever.
It pretty much was.
Yeah.
It sounds like my N64
and then a couple Christmases later, I got the Nintendo 64 and Harvest Moon 64, which is also one of my favorite games of all time.
Harvest Moon 64.
Yeah.
Back to Nature is one of my favorite games,
game.
which is basically Harvest Moon 64.
But yeah,
but better.
The reason like there's such that gap is because I was raised by my grandparents, so there were no games. I didn't know what games were
I was confused by your question because like I guess I had someone around that bought me video games sooner.
And you also had an older brother and stuff that was probably into games too. So.
Yeah, because I remember the day.
In fact, I know he was.
Yeah, because I remember the day that he finally saved up enough money and got an SNES with Super Metroid, and it was like the best day ever when I finally got to play Super Metroid because all I had up to that was NES Metroid.
Which is still good.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's fine. It's just, password system and all that.
Yeah, I've never been the first Metroid.
I also remember...
It ain't easy.
I also remember the day that my dad beat Metroid on the NES. I remember watching him jump up the escape chute thing.
Maybe that's why you're so into achievements. You saw all these other accolades your family members were getting in video games, and you just couldn't match up. So now you're overcompensating.
Well, when I had the 360, but when I played 360, I had a contest with my brother so you could have the highest gamer score.
You had a lead on him though, didn't you?
I had a massive lead on him because I had like a year head start. So I think ultimately what I got was about 32 to 38,000.
Jesus Christ, I'm at like 13,000.
To put that into perspective, each game has a maximum of 1,000 gamer points. So I had about 32,000.
And you probably had a bunch of games on there that were like the downloadable story, which are only like 200 points.
I don't
Maybe.
remember. I didn't have that many downloadable
I think Braid
games.
only had 200.
No, they have 500.
Oh, okay.
It was 500 maximum because I think the only games I ever downloaded were Braid and Castle Crashers.
I think I might have actually gotten all the achievements on Braid. I'm not sure.
Did you get the hidden stuff?
Oh, no, I didn't get the hidden stars. Those are the
because I didn't want to sit for 2 hours.
Yeah, that was the only one I didn't get.
Yeah, it was. So I think my brother finally came out to like 12,000. So suck it.
Trying to think about. I think my first game that I really wanted for myself, because my first system was a Game Boy, although I guess PC also counts because we had all the DOS games and everything like that. But it would have had to have been either Kirby's Dream Land or
on the Game Boy.
Yeah,
not Kirby's.
No, yeah, I didn't have an NES. I never had an NES growing up.
Called?
Just Kirby's Adventure, I think.
Okay. Yeah,
but Kirby's Dream Land was actually the first one, which is kind of weird. But Kirby's Dream Land or Super Mario Land 1, because the Game Boy that I got came with, it came with Zelda, but my parents also got me Wario Land to go with it.
It came with like Link's Awakening?
Yeah, Link's Awakening and Wario Land, which was Super Mario Land 3. Yeah. So, of course, as a kid, I was like, there's 2 more of these. Although, I would have had to have desired the Tom and Jerry DOS game at some point, because I don't know any other reason why my dad would have gotten that if it weren't for me.
Yeah.
So it was probably one of those 3.
I have a correction to make. Pokemon. That was my first game that I wanted that I got.
Oh man, that is the first game I remember like frothing at the mouth for.
Yeah.
Like I have to have
Because
this.
I was just sitting here thinking, I was like, what games did I own that came out before that? And I was like, wait a second, Pokemon Red and Blue came out a year before Final Fantasy VII. That's it. That's what I had, because I didn't have the PlayStation was my first console to get, but I did have a Game Boy Pocket, and I got that. And I think there was also, it was one of those like Dragon Warrior games or something like that. I think I had that and played the shit out of it too.
Nice. Next question.
I'm looking up Final Fantasy on eBay.
Well, next question here is from Joey. The question is, hey, Troy, tell us your life story. I'm going to tweak that a little bit and say, hey, Troy, tell us your life story in 5 words or less.
Give me a second.
Okay.
That's 3.
There you go. Done. Next.
What would your life story be in 5 words or less?
I don't fucking know.
That's 4.
Yeah. Mine would.
I don't fucking know. Yeah.
Mine would be. It could have been worse.
Yeah.
Bearded man makes dumb noises.
I just looked it up, and Final Fantasy Black Label with typo is about $44.
Yeah.
Which
it used to be 200.
Yeah. I have an unboxed Chrono Trigger cartridge, but I don't think it's worth as much anymore.
Yeah.
It doesn't have the box or anything with it.
They went digital, so they're not as collectible anymore.
Yeah.
There are still people that will buy them, but for reduced value. But at the same time, it's like I kept those games because I wanted to play them. I never kept those 3 copies because I wanted to collect them. I kept them because I was really crappy about taking care of disc, so having more of them meant I had replacements.
I do still have Misadventures of Trombone, which is worth a lot of money, or not a lot of money, but worth more than average. And it was the last game. It was the last game in the Mega Man Legends franchise, which is the most mistreated franchise of all time.
I do remember
Make your own, man. Make your own.
Shut up.
I do remember in high school, I let someone borrow one of my Final Fantasy VII games, and they broke the second disc. And
out of 3, right?
Out of 3. I was super pissed. So I have 8 of the 9 hard copy discs now.
That reminds me, this fucking kid next door to me when I was a kid.
2 of the copies are at my grandparents' house.
When I was like 12, this kid down the street, we were friends, quote marks, at the time.
He was a Bradley?
Yeah. Well, not quite. Anyway, I let this kid borrow Super Mario Land 1, 2, 3, and Kirby's Dream Land.
Whoa, that's too much.
Then he moved. Never got him back. Never talked to him again.
Wait. So your first video game you got,
Yeah.
Got stolen.
it's gone.
Yeah.
What a dick.
Yeah.
What a Bradley.
I still have Link's Awakening, thankfully, but
So that's technically the first game.
that was one of the first things I did was when I bought my 3DS and I went on the eShop and I saw they had all 4 of those games on the eShop immediately. It's the
Check
first thing
that
that I
out.
got.
Nice.
That's worth a pretty penny.
That's
isn't
pretty
it?
good.
Trombone is worth about $175.
Question from Andrew.
I'll never get rid of it.
This is a technical DVD question. Would you happen to know if Troy kept the original footage from the first season, and if so, will the bloopers be a new cut/edit? I enjoyed the bloopers a lot. They showed a great perspective to the BTS and Marble Hornets.
That's something you can answer, actually.
Yes, we actually have more behind the scenes footage than was used in that blooper reel because we didn't make that blooper reel. We sent it all off. We sent all this footage off to the person who was making the DVD and was like, hey, cut this together however you want. And the final thing ended up being like a minute long. So we can make a hopefully better one this time
With the
around.
duck quack, which that cannot be stressed enough that the duck quack is not our idea.
Yeah. So, I mean, I want to say that it'll include everything from the last one because there wasn't really that much in it. So I can't imagine, with all that other stuff, I can't imagine myself possibly missing anything from the first one.
And you've been going through all the raw stuff lately, getting the stuff ready for the season 1 DVD. So you have seen some other bloopery type things that you have set aside just in case.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's definitely going to be new and better and more substantial and longer than a minute.
Yeah. Speaking of the DVD stuff, we should also point out that we did say we were not going to be doing a reprint of the season 2 DVDs, but that is we are kind of just for total transparency, we do not have the
master files, the original master files.
The original master file for the season 2 DVD, which means we'll have to have separate menus. But that's pretty much the only thing that's going to change on that. And also, we thought the
menus are going to be different, and it's only going to be 1 disc instead of 2.
That's the only difference that season 2 is going to have.
Everything else is the same. And for the new season 2 DVDs are going to be in the box sets, but right now, since we still have plenty of standalone copies of season 2, we're going to keep selling those until they're gone, and then once they are, just reorder the new ones after that, because again, they're essentially the same.
Yeah, they're the same.
There's not nearly as much of a drastic difference as there is between the old and new season 1 discs.
Sorry, I can't remember if we've said that or not, but I wanted to.
I think we have, but I mean, I think it's worth.
If anything changes, we will definitely let you know.
Yeah.
We're not gonna George Lucas it really bad on the season 2 front.
From the way it looks right now, or not from the way it looks right now, just the DVDs are going to be finished first, and then we will be working on the Blu-ray, because
we have to buy the authoring software.
Well, it's not just that we have to buy the software, but it's it's 2 different programs that I've never used before, so I don't want to have to be learning 2 at the same time, because then it'll just slow them both down. So then once the DVDs are done, that's it. I can put it away, start working on the new one, just the Blu-ray. So it's going to be DVDs first, Blu-rays after that.
There's not as much of a time crunch on the Blu-rays as there is with the season 3 or not box set, the season 3 DVD, because that is the priority 1 right now, is getting that finished. So
that is that's bringing it full circle since we started with that.
We keep squeezing in extra little THAC news at the end of these podcasts now.
So that people will be sure to listen all the way to the end, because they might miss something quote unquote important.
We need to start putting ad breaks on all of these, so we can make that sweet moolah for people to listen all the way
for
through.
Anti-Fragile Solutions.
1 cent per 1,000 plays. So we'll have about 20 cents by now.
20 cents we didn't have before.
Hey, put it in the company bank account.
Don't actually.
We can buy some shipping stamps.
Like one,
a shipping
less
stamp,
than a half of one.
Anyway, I am out of questions, so unless you guys can think of anything else to add, I think it is time to
I just added the
wrap it on up.
I was going to add, you should roll that solstice music.
All right, we'll do.
Do it.
That is not my dog.
Oh.
Does your dog bad?
Does your dog bite? Serious question, you guys. Does your dog bite?
All right, guys. Here's a question for the ladies. Does your